everyone, welcome back to my channel where I will crochet it forward in this video by showing you my Forky pattern. Now I got this this little guy from watching the movie with my grandkids. They ordered like a little kids meal and they had these cups and you could pick the character, and my grandson picked Forky. So I had asked him if I could borrow it so that I could come up with the pattern. And after weeks and weeks of tweaking it, I think I got it. Even though I'm going to make some smaller versions, this is going to be a real life version of Forky. We're compensating for how small he is in the story, in the movie, and we kind of made him come to life. This pattern is going to be awesome for a Toy Story lover, especially a Toy Story 4 lover, since Forky is a new character in that. Great for a birthday gift, a Christmas gift, an anytime gift, or just because gift. So I'm excited to share it with you. So after sharing my Forky pattern, you will have your choice of making one of two projects. The first one is this Forky blanket. And the second project is this Forky Buddy, life-size Forky project. The yarn you're going to need for this project is all Red Heart Super Saver, and we have white, we have black, we have turquoise, we have red, and then we also have this royal blue. Now this, I had to try to find like a manila folder color, and I ended up finding it cornmeal. I don't know if you can see that. That is also Red Heart Super Saver. Put that up a little bit. So those are the 5 colors you're going to need for the Forky pattern. Alright, so the materials you're going to need are 2 hooks, a 4.5 and a 5.0. You are going to need a large sewing needle, some stick pins, scissors, stitch markers, and if you have a picture of Forky from Google, if you can print that, or if you have one of these cup toppers from somebody that went to go see the movie and bought a kids meal, that would help a lot too, and it will kind of guide you. Alright, so this pattern is worked up with a 4.5 millimeter hook, but for the chain we're going to do a half a size up because we're going to work in the back bump. So you want to grab your white and get a slip knot, and then you want to chain 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now we're going to change to the 4.5 millimeter hook, and then work in these back bumps. Let me see if I can show them to you. If you turn your chain upside down, you can see those. Whoops, sorry about that. And then that's what we're going to work into. So let me see if I can get this a little closer. That way you can see what I'm doing. Okay. So we're just going to turn our work, and in that first bump off to your left, we're going to single crochet. In fact, we're going to single crochet all the way back to our starting chain. Should give us 15. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then your last bump right here is 15. Okay, So what we're going to do to ensure that our sides are very neat is for every time we turn our work, we're going to pull up our loop and turn our work and then insert our hook from the side. This is going to ensure that we have very straight edges. So when we come around with that single crochet row border, it's going to be easier for us to locate the stitches. Okay, so now all we're going to do is make 15 single crochets. Oh, wait a minute, half double crochets. I'm sorry, this pattern is worked up in half double crochets. So that's what we're going to do for the first 31 rows. And then a half double crochet is just yarning over. Insert your hook into that same first stitch and then pull through. So yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook and pull through all of them. One more time, yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, 1, 2, 3 loops on your hook and pull through all of them. So we have 15, so we're going to do this for 31 rows. 15 stitches across, 31 rows, and I will meet you back. Okay, real quick, I just want to point out to be sure that you're going through both loops right here. Let me pull. You're gonna it's gonna be, because we're pulling our loop out, it's gonna give us this little stitch right here. But if you go behind it, this is where your V is going to be. That's where you have to go. I don't know if you can see that. But this is that line, and just behind it, be sure you're going through 2 loops for your 15th stitch. And then also what I have found, okay, so that's 15, that if you pull up your loop, turn your work, and leave it kind of loose like that, and then make your first stitch, you can easily locate that V, that side V for your last stitch. See it right there? Right there. So I just wanted to share that with you as you go. Alright, so I am finishing up my 29th row, and I just want to show you how we're going to change color. This is stitch 14. I'm going to yarn over and go into our loop. That very last one that's off to the side. And I'm going to pull up our yarn, and then I'm going to yarn over and go through, actually I'm going to pull up our yarn. So we're going to do red. We have to do red for 5 rows. Okay? And I just like to, I'm going to go ahead and snip my yarn there. Just tie it right there to secure. And then I'm just going to chain 1. We're going to turn our work, and then we're going to continue with our 15 half double crochets. So I'll go ahead and do that. And then it's always that first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then again we're getting that side one there just behind that stitch, that slanted stitch for 15. And what we're doing is, let me see if this part right here, and then we're going to pick back up with the white. But I wanted to show you real quick, I just did this so that I know I have some subscribers that are Spanish to help, but rows 1 through 30 are in white, 31 through 36 red, 37 through 62 white, and they're all in half double crochet. For my Spanish subscribers. That is a punto medio alto. So I hope that helps a little bit. So I'm going to do this for 5 rows and then I'll meet you back. Alright, so I just finished my 5th row in red. Now I'm going to go back to white. You know, we're going to change just the same as we did the white. I'm going to go ahead and fasten off. Tie this. And you can change your color any way you want. Whatever you're comfortable with. And then we're going to chain 1. Turn our work. And then we're going to do rows 37. Make sure I'm in the camera here. 37 to 62 white. I think it comes out to 25 rows. So I'll meet you back after your 62nd row. Okay, moving on. Now we are going to start doing our increases right here. And we're going to do increases for 15 rows. And we're going to do them at the first stitch and the last stitch. Okay, I just finished up my 62nd. And then for my Spanish friends, I wanted them to see that 67 through 78 we're going to be decreasing in the first and the last. That's all this says for 15 rows. So to do that, I will show you the first one. So this is row 62. So I'm going to turn my work. And then we're going to increase in the first row and the last row. And all that is 2 half double crochets in the same stitch. Now mind you, do these loosely. Your first one, do these loosely so you can easily identify them at the end of the row. 1, 2. Okay, and then that's 1. Wait a minute. Sorry, I did that. That was a decrease. So increase is 1. So we're going to put 2 half double crochets basically in our first and last stitch. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then our last row is gonna, or our last stitch, we have an increase, so it would give us 16, 17. You'll have an odd number. So each row is going to increase by 2. And again, this is going to give us right here where it goes out. So go ahead and do that for 15 rows or filas, and I will meet you right back. All right, I just have to correct myself. I misspoke. You actually have to only do 12 rows because we needed to get to the 41 stitches, and that was 12 rows, not 15. And for my Hispanics here, it's 63 to 75, only for 12, and my apologies. So the next thing we're going to do is for rows 76 to 86, we're just going to do 41 half double crochets. So go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you back so we can do the top of the fork. Okay, so I just finished my 86th row. That's 10 rows of 41 stitches. So now what we're going to do is 5 rows excuse me, of decreases. The same way, well, the same concept. As we increased, we're going to reverse that. So we're going to decrease in the first stitch and in the last stitch. Okay? And we're going to do that by going into our first stitch, don't complete it, yarn over, go into your next stitch, don't complete it, then you can complete it. So that's 1, 2, 3, I will try to speed this up on the video, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, and then the last two together, 39. Because we started with 41 and we're decreasing by 2 for 5 rows, that'll get us down to 31. So go ahead and finish that and I will meet you back. Whoops, I'm so sorry for my Hispanic friends. So we're going to do rows 87, 92, we're going to do a decrease in the first and the last for 5 rows. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so I just finished row 92. That's my 5th row with the decrease in the first and last stitch. So we're going to turn our work, and we're going to have to make an increase so that we can get an even stitch, so that the so these 4 pokes up here can be evenly distributed in the row. So we need an even number for that. So for our first stitch in our row number 93, we're just going to increase the first stitch. So that's 1, 2, and then we're going to make a half double crochet to the end of the row for 32 stitches, and then we're going to make row 94 32 half double crochets. I'm sorry, not stitches, half double crochets. And then also for my Hispanic people, 93, we're only going to increase the first stitch for 32, and then row 94, we're going to do 32 puntos medio altos. Okay, so I'll see you back so we can do row 95, which will be the pokes. All right, so we just finished our 95th row. We should have 32. You should still have 32 half double crochets. Now we're going to start the tip of the forks. I don't know what we call them, pokes. I'm not sure what they're called, but we're going to do this. I'm going to show you how to do this, and then you'll just repeat it 3 more times. Super easy. So we're going to turn our work. Okay. And because we have 32 and we have 4 pokes, that gives us 8 stitches evenly for each poke, because 8 times 4 is 32. So let me just show this real quick for my Hispanic subscribers. So we're going to have to do this 4 times. All right. And so what we're going to do is decrease just your first stitch. So first we're going to do 8 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So each little poke will start out with 8 stitches, 8 medio altos. Okay, so then we're going to decrease your first stitch for every row until we get 2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops, got the 7th one here. 7. So you should be going down 1 stitch per mini row here. So we're going to decrease the first stitch. 1, oops, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and again incrementar el primero punto no más. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all I said in Spanish was we are decreasing the first stitch only, which I've already said in English. So, and then here we are with our first stitch. Turn over. 1, 2, 3, 4, and again we're only going to 2, and then that first stitch, 1, 2, 3, and this would be our very last row because we're only going down to 2. We're going to increase this first stitch, 1, and then that side stitch right there, 2. Where did my scissors go? So then we fasten off, and then you repeat this 3 more times because we have 32 stitches and we put 8 in each one, and I'll start it with you. You just go into the very next stitch and you're going to make 8 half double crochets. You're always going to start out with 8 before you start decreasing your first stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and again we turn our work, pull out our hook, and then immediately start with the decrease in your first one. 1. So you're going to go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So they'll all be even. Go ahead and finish up the second one here, third and fourth, and I will meet you back. All right, so this is what the top of your forky should be looking like. Go ahead and sew in your ends. And this is how it should look with your ends all sewn in. Okay, moving on. The next thing we're going to do is the right side arm. Okay, and we've made 5, I think it was 5 rows, but we're going to end up doing 6 half double crochets. Okay, and then for my Spanish followers, 6 punto medio altos, 21 filas. lado derecho. So grab your red. We're going to make 6 double crochets. Starting the first. Oops, and be sure you don't want to leave a big hole. Well, first make sure you're deciding which one is your front, which one is going to be your back. Okay. Because it's going to make a difference. I was thinking about making the arms the same, but then I was like, no, I want to try to make them look as unique as possible, closest to the pattern. So what I'm going to do, because there's this big gap right there and I don't want to see that, I'm just going to go right in the middle of that stitch. And then start with a standing half double crochet. And you can slip and chain one. That's just how I'm going to do it. So we have 1, 2, 3, and just do your best to try to spread them out evenly. 4, 5, 6. That's one thing about Red Heart yarn, is that you can get it's the exact same brand, but it will be like the fibers can be thicker in different colors. Okay, so we're still pulling out our yarn and coming in the side so we can have some straight sides, and then we're just gonna go into that same stitch and make like a half double crochet and across, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. So I've done 2. I've completed 2. I'll have to do 19 more, so 21 rows of 6 half double crochets. Finish that up and I'll meet you back. Alright, so I finished my 21 rows. Now what we want to do is, you're working your work like that, you want to turn your work, and then we're going to be working on the left side for 21 more rows of 6 half double crochets, and I'll start that with you. So we've already done this. We're going to do it again in that last stitch because we're turning. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to do that for another 21 rows. You know, we're going to turn around, put in our hook, and then go back and forth for 21 rows. And then nothing has changed for my Hispanic followers. Another 21 rows. So go ahead and do 21 rows up that way. Now I'll meet you back. Alright, moving on. Once you have finished your 21 rows of 6 half double crochets, what we're going to do is our fingers are going to be 6 rows of 6 half double crochets. So we're going to go up here. This is 21, starting from here where we attached all the way up here, and we're going to count 6 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to attach. That's our middle finger. Then we're going to do 6 and 6. Okay, so go ahead and do those. And then for my Hispanic friends, I think that should do it, and I'll meet you back. Okay, sorry, maybe I didn't make myself clear. So this is one that's already done. Okay, so this is the one that I'm working on. I just went down 6 and marked it, so this is the row that I'm going to start this way, going that way to for your right finger. That's our middle finger, and this is our left finger. So hopefully that helps. Alright, so after you've done your fingers, it should be looking a little like this. I'm about to sew in my ends, and I suggest you sewing your ends as you go. It's just going to save you a lot of headache later. So again, we have 6 rows of 6 half double crochets. to the right, to the left only 3 fingers. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And this is what your fingers look like cleaned up. So grab your red yarn and your hook and we'll get started on the left side arm. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is the left arm, and I was going to make him even, and I thought, you know what, that's not how he looks. So we're going to go out a little bit, and then we're going to come down and do a longer arm facing down, and then we're going to pick back up. So in order to start, we're going to start with, again, 6 rows, 6 half double crochets for 7 rows, and I'll meet you back. We're going to attach just like we did here. And then for my Spanish friends, sorry about my dog in the background here, that just says the left side. We're going to do 6 half double crochets for 7 rows. So I'll meet you back. Alright, so after you do your 7 rows, I just want to show you on Forky how we're going to go down and then up. So what you're going to have to do is turn your work like this. Alright. So you're going to have to eventually turn it upside down. And then we're going to half double crochet in that same stitch. That's going to be our first one. And we're going to do 15 rows. So we have to do 6 across. 1, 2, 3, 4, and again, just do the best you can trying to get those in there. Those side stitches can be challenging. Okay, so now what we're going to do is be going down. Okay, so we're going to do 15 rows of 6 half double crochets, and for my Hispanic friends, there you go. So go ahead and do those 15 rows and I will meet you back. So after you've done your 15 rows, now I just want to show you on Forky where we're going. Now we're just going to do this part. We're going to go up, and then just like this one, we went right into the middle finger and then added the sides. That's what we're going to do here. So I'm going to have to go ahead and fasten off. And then start with these 6 right here. So you know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to go ahead and mark that. You don't have to. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe not. Just go ahead and get into here, a little ear standing half double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to do 21 going up this way. And sorry for my Spanish friends, it's going to be 21 filas of 6 punto medio altos. Okay, so do your 21 and I will meet you back. Just completed my 21st row, so I'm going to fasten off, and then we're also going to do these fingers just like this one. So we've already did these 6, so we're going to come down 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then make the, oops, it's not how I attach, and then make the left finger and the right finger, because Forky only has 3 fingers. Okay, so we're going to do 6 rows of 6 half double crochets, and then right across from it 6 rows of 6 half double crochets. So we'll have our right finger, our middle finger, and our left finger done right here. So just to clarify it for my Hispanic followers, there you go. I'll meet you back. Alright, so once you're done with your fingers, I had it upside down here, on your left side, we're going to go ahead and put your Forky upside down and get to your foundation row. Now this is the part right here on Forky. Let's see if you can see right here. In the movie they use clay to hold that together. I'm going to call it the clay skirt. So that's what we're going to do now. And it's going to come out like this. But for our first row, our foundation row of single crochets, that's going to be our only increase row. So, and also I forgot to mention earlier, when you're counting your foundation rows as you're making the body of Forky, be sure you're not counting that foundation row of single crochets. We're only counting the half double crochet rows. And if you have problem counting, this is why I like this stitch so much. You can clearly see the rows for the half double crochet stitch. So that's why I chose that. So go ahead and grab your white yarn again. And we're going to get started on the clay skirt of Mr. Forky. And so we have 15 stitches, and if we do 2 stitches in each one, it's going to be 30. But that's not going to be enough, so we're going to do an increase on the side right here, and then on the other end right here. So we'll end up with 34. Okay, and then kind of spell that out a little bit for my Spanish viewers. Okay, and then what we're going to end up doing is, after we do this row, we'll end up doing 5 more rows of 34. But I just wanted to show you, because it can be kind of tricky. You can see your foundation row because it's a lot smaller than that first half double crochet row. So we're just going to go in right here on the side where your tail is at if you haven't sewn it in, and make 2 half double crochets. And I'm just going to do a standing one here, which I didn't do very good because I didn't hang on to the yarn. Okay, and that's 1, 2, and then we're hopping right in here, 2, 3, 4, and again we're increasing 2 stitches all the way down. I'm not going to do this on camera. I will meet you back here at the end of this foundation row. Alright, so I just did my 32nd stitch, and now I'm going to go into the side here and make my 33 and 34. And it's on the side of this 3. There it is. And do the best you can. This is the only way that I could get the skirt to be long enough for the feet. So now what you want to do is just continue one half double crochet for 5 more rows. Wait a minute, let me see. Yep, because we're going to have 6 rows total. So this is our first row. 5 more rows, 5 filas más of 34 half double crochets, 34 puntos medios altos, and I will meet you back. Alright, I just finished my 6th row of 34 half double crochets. So for my 7th row, we are only going to increase on the ends for a total of 36. And then rows 8, 9, 10 will have 36 half double crochets, and we'll be done. And again, an increase is just 2 half double crochets in the same stitch. Okay, and for my Spanish viewers, and that's just explaining the first and last stitches, an increase of 2, that's row 7, and then 8 through 10 you're going to have 36 half double crochets, and then we will be done with the skirt and we can move on to the feet. Okay, and just in case I confused anybody, I'm still on my 7th row. I'm on my 34th stitch, and again we're increasing on the last stitch, which is going to give us 36 half double crochets. So that's 35, 36, 2 and 1 stitch increase. So now for rows 8, 9, 10, 3 more rows, you're just going to do 36 half double crochets. Okay? So once you've finished your last row, this is what your skirt should be looking like. And it comes out to a total of 10 rows, I believe. Yeah, 10 rows. So now what we want to do is move on to our feet. Go ahead and grab your manila color. And we're going to have to make 2 of these. I'm going to do a magic circle. You can do those any way you want. There's no right or wrong way. Okay. And just want to share that. So our first row, we're going to make 5 half double crochets in our magic circle. It's going to be a half of a magic circle. Then we're going to increase our second row 2 each stitch to 10 half double crochets, and then our third row increase again to 20. Okay, and this is for your feet. So I have my magic circle here, and I'm going to chain 2, which doesn't count for anything. And then I'm going to make 5 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then I just want to show you right here on Forky his feet. These are what we're making right now. Okay, so after this, your 5, you're not going to close that. Okay, sorry, I keep getting up, so I'll make sure I'm in the frame. We're just going to turn our work, and we're going to make 2 half double crochets in each stitch for a total of 10. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then our last stitch, 9, 10. Okay, that's round 2. Round 3 is an increase again, 2 stitches in each half double crochet for a total of 20. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so we're going to make 2 more rows of 20 half double crochets, so you'll have a total of 5 rows. Okay, so I will meet you back. Oops, sorry. For my Spanish friends, filas 4 y 5 van a ser 20 puntos medios altos. Sorry about that. All right, so once you get your 5 rows, and again you can tell those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're going to turn it upside down. Okay, and then you want to close this circle up so you still have half a circle. And what we need to do is distribute 20 half double crochets all the way across. Okay, and do the best you can. I always start with, in that same stitch right here, 1, and if you can kind of give yourself the guide of the middle, you need 10. Yes, right here is where you should have 10 half double crochets, 10 puntos medios altos. So that's 1, and do the best you can. 2, 3, 4. You might have to put 2 and 1. 5, 6, 7, 8. It's going to be a little challenging, but I'm sure you can get it. 8. Let's see where I'm at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can even use the center right there to put your 2. 9, 10. And then 11, 12. I would use the tighter stitches to do your increases as opposed to the big ones so you don't have a big gap. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and like I said, just do the best you can. 19, 20. Okay, so that's our first row. We're going to do 9 more rows. Okay, so in essence you're going to have 10 rows total of 20 half double crochets, and then for my Spanish friends, that's 10 rows of 20 half double crochets. And if you're continuing to count your foot rows, that's going to be rows 16 to 15. So go ahead and finish your other 9 rows up, and I will meet you back. All right, just finished my 10th row, and now we're going to attach. So what we're going to do here, let me make sure I'm in the frame, is on our first and last stitch we're going to decrease, and I'll show you how to do that. So we have 1, we're going to single crochet. We're just going to go to this first stitch right here of your skirt. In case I didn't, so on the right side of your skirt, and we're just going to single crochet as opposed to sewing. Okay, so we have that first stitch is a 2 together, and then go to your next stitch and single crochet, go to your next stitch and single crochet. We're going to go all the way down here, and I will meet you at the end of the stitch because we have to decrease on that one too. So go ahead and single crochet all the way down. All right, I just finished my 17th single crochet, and then because we already decreased 1, and then the last 2 will give us 18 stitches. Okay, and just go to your next stitch, and that's 18. Because remember, our skirt, we ended up with 36 half double crochets. We have to cut that in half so we'll have enough for each foot. So with one foot being 18 stitches, increasing at the beginning of the last of the single crochet row, and at the end will give us 18. 18 and 18 is 36. So that's how you do that. Go ahead and rewind the video, make your second foot, and I will meet you here and show you how to attach. If not, I got to see how far we are in the video. Just do the exact same thing here, starting with here, decrease, do your stitches, and then decrease at the end. Okay, I just want to share real quick as I'm doing my second foot, since there's 5 rows here, if you do an increase on each one, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, you're in the middle, and then 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 will give you 20 half double crochets evenly. So if you find yourself struggling, let's just think of 2 half double crochets per each row, and then just follow the row here, and you can follow the row that side, and it will make it a lot more simple for you. All right, I have my second foot attached. I'm going to sew in my ends, and then we'll come back and we will start doing the face. Moving on to the face of Forky, we're going to do his right eye. We're going to do the black part right now. So grab your hook as well as your black yarn, and we're going to make a magic circle. Okay, and then this is going to be in black. It is going to be 12 half double crochets. So do your magic circle however you like. And for my Spanish audience, here we go. Get them tidy to go. And then we're going to chain 2, which doesn't count for anything. And then again, we're just going to make 12 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Close your circle up and then slip stitch to the top of your first half double crochet. Okay, now we're going to do the exact same thing in white. So grab your white and make 12 half double crochets in your white, and I will meet you back. All right, so once you have your 12 right here, let me get this a little closer. We're going to do one more row of increase. One more row, and it's going to be an increase row. So we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to make 2 half double crochets in each stitch. Okay, it's an increase all the way around. 12 plus 12 is 24. So at the end of this round, you'll have 24. Okay, and I will meet you back. And then for my Spanish viewers, letting them know what's up. I'll meet you back. So now we're done with this eye. See, this is going to be this eye right here. Now we have to do this eye, the left eye. Okay, so we're going to grab our black again, and these are going to be standard circle increases on your standard circle pattern. I'll go ahead and do that with you, but you want to take a magic circle any way that you want, and just to let my Spanish people, it's kind of giving them the outline of the increases. We're going to make 10 half double crochets. So we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and I won't let you, I'll just meet you back. Alright, so after your 10th half double crochet, we want to close this. You can pull that tail right there. So you can close your circle, and then we want to slip stitch to the top of your first half double crochet. And I know that I apologize because this is black yarn, but that's the color that the eye is. Alright, so we're going to chain 2, and that doesn't count for anything. And our second increase row is going to be 2 half double crochets in each stitch for a total of 20. Okay, so that's 2 incrementados en cada stitch para tener 20 medio puntos altos. So we will have 20 half double crochets at the end of this round. Okay, so we just finished our 20th half double crochet. We're going to slip stitch to the top of your first half double crochet, and then our third row is going to have 30 half double crochets or 30 medio puntos altos. And the repeat for this one, for this round, is chain 2, which doesn't count for anything. And you're going to make 2 double crochets in the same stitch and 1 in the next, 2 in the next, and 1 in the next. So the repeat is 2 1 2 1 or 2 1 2 1 all the way around until you have 30 or 30 half double crochets medio puntos altos. Okay, so I just finished my 30th half double crochet. I'm just going to fasten off here, and then you want to grab your white and do the same thing. Make another one, magic circle, make 10 half double crochets, and then slip to join, make 20 half double crochets and increase in every stitch, which equals 20 half double crochets, sorry about that. And then your third row is going to be 2 1 2 1 2 1 for your increase for 30. Do that in white and I will meet you back. Alright, so I just finished my 30th double crochet in white. I'm going to chain 2, and now what we're going to do is another increase around here for a total of 40 half double crochets, and that increase is going to be chain 2 to get up to your next stitch, 2 half double crochets in the same stitch, 1 2, and then 1 in each of the next 2, 3 4, 2 in the next, 5 6, and then 1 in each of the next, 7 8. Okay, so it's going to be 2 1 1 2 1 1 all the way around until you have 40 half double crochets. And for my Spanish audience, we're going to go one more round, fila cuatro, another increase round for 40 puntos medios, and I will meet you back. Alright, so now we have our eyes done, and this is what we're looking for. This little small one is going to be, we're going to make this one a little bit like cross-eyed a little bit, and then this one is a little centered but a little off to this side. Okay, now we're going to do the eyebrow right here, the red eyebrow. So move that out the way, grab your red yarn and your hook. What we want to do is chain 29, but we're going to do that in the half size bigger because we're going to work in the back loop only. So you want to grab your, let's see where my crammer's at, your 5.0 hook H, and then we want to chain 29. And for my Hispanic audience, get them going. So chain 29 and I will meet you back. Oops, let me turn this fan off. So I just chained my 29, so I'm going to put my 5.0 down and grab my 4.5. And then now what we're going to do is work in the back loop only. And that's taking your chain, turning it upside down, and immediately you see these little bumps right here. Once you work your single crochet in that first one, the chain generally just stays face down. Then you can really see them. Do you see that? So go ahead, but what we want to do is an increase in your first stitch of 2 single crochets, and then go all the way down and increase on your last one. Okay, so we're going to increase on your first and your last. We did 29, second bump from your hook gives you 28. We should have 30 by the time we're done. So let me just explain this. 29 chains, increases in the first and the last for 30, and I will meet you back. Alright, I just crocheted my 28th stitch, including my increase for my first stitch, and then I'm just going to do an increase in this last stitch. And I forgot to tell you, you're more than welcome to leave long enough tails to sew these facial expressions on, or parts. Okay, so that is our eyebrow right here. Again, that's right there. So go ahead and grab your turquoise and I'll meet you back. Okay, again we're going to do this blue turquoise area right here. and we want to chain 56. Okay, so for my Spanish audience, and we're going to do it in our bigger hook. Grab your 5.0 and chain 56. 56 cadenas, and I will meet you back. Alright, once you have your 56 chains, we're going to take the 5.0 hook out, grab our 4.5, and we're going to do the same thing, work in the back bump, but no increases. This is just going to be straight, so you should end up with 56 single crochets by the time you're done. And again, that is just back loop, pull up a loop, and then again there are your bumps all the way down. So go ahead and do 54 more single crochets, and I will meet you back. Right, I just finished my 55th stitch, and now what you need to do is put your work upside down and straighten your piece here. Okay, once you have it straightened, we want to slip to join to the top of that first single crochet. Okay, we want to fasten off. Alright, so all I've done is just, well, I thought I did. I had go ahead and get your needle, and then for the bottom part you just want to sew those pieces together so you have a full ring here, a circle, or more like a ring. You want to sew these things together, okay, so you'll have a full straight ring here. You want to sew your ends in right here, sew your ends right here, and then grab your forky face or body or pattern. Alright, so the next thing you want to do is take your stick pins, and the best you can, I suggest, like I have this from the movie theater, but you can get on google.com and Google Forky images or whatever, and then you can go ahead and go from there using that photo or image as a guide. So I did the best I could with this. Now all I'm going to do is just take my red yarn and sew it. I'm going to sew the black on first, then the white, and then I'm going to sew the turquoise on right here. Like I said, you can leave a tail if you want as you go, that way you don't have to come back and do that, but that's what I'm going to do, and I will meet you back and we will do the rainbow on Forky's foot. Whoops, sorry. And for my Spanish people, just telling you that you need to sew the pieces together. Alright, so this is the best that I came up with as far as the rainbow on Forky's foot. Let me see if you can see that. Do you see that? It looks more like a sticker, but it's in the shape of a rainbow. And what I did is 125 chains into my Spanish folks, and I use these stick pins. Okay, and you might want to pause the video so you can see kind of where I have my stick pins at, and just go in and out, zigzag, go in and out for a total of 5. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because that's what he has. And then take a sewing needle with the same blue yarn, or you can use a long tail, starting tail or the end tail, I forget a lot of times, and then just start sewing that on there. So that's the finishing touch on our Forky pattern. I just want to share what I'm doing here. I'm coming in the back and like I'm sewing, but every time I get to a pin, I'm just taking it out. That's like the easiest way I can explain this to you. This is probably the most challenging area of the pattern. I'm sorry, but this is all I could think of, and I didn't want to leave it out because it is like, Forky is such a simple person, and look, I mean, you know, he's got his hands, he's got his eyes, his crooked eyes, his unibrow, and then his crooked smile, and then that sticker. So it is kind of like a signature part of him. So okay guys, I just wanted to show you what my finished product looked like, and again, the back is going to look a little messy, but we don't care because this is going on a blanket. And then I also wanted to show, and this is optional, but I ended up joining these down here, these 5 ends right here when I was sewing. So again, that's optional. I noticed that that is a very small trait on Forky. Okay guys, there he is. He's finished. That's his face. This is his body. There's his arms. Sorry, my camera isn't big enough. And then of course there's his feet with his little sticker on there. So this is the pattern. The next couple frames are going to be the two projects that come with the pattern, and that is going to be an Afghan, and the second one is going to be like a stuffed buddy, which means you'll have to make another panel of this, and we're going to stuff it kind of like a stuffed animal, but he's not an animal, he's a buddy, best friend, you know, something like that. So I do want to let you know that this measures with a 4.5 hook. This measured 3 feet and 7 inches. So if that's too big, you can go smaller. I am working on a smaller pattern, so I will get that to you guys as soon as possible. Oops, saw a little split in there. So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and get everything ready for the first project. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is Forky Project 1, the blanket. The next thing you want to do is get your panel together. Now this can be a panel of corner to corner. It can be a half double crochet, single crochet panel. What you want to do is make sure it's big enough for your Forky pattern. And I did this, this is 2 rows at once. And I'll link that pattern or stitch in the comment section. But what I did is, after doing 2 at a time, I was doing the back loop only. And if you guys have seen my market bag video, it's the exact same concept. So I did that, and that's what I'm putting my Forky applique on. But you guys can, like I said, do anything. If you want to do a granny, I would suggest doing it with a really small hook. You want to try to stay away from patterns that have big holes in it, because you're going to put this on and you don't want it to look tacky on the other side. So get that together, and I'll tell you the next step. Alright, so after you got your panel together that you're going to crochet your Forky on, you want to get a single crochet row all the way around your Forky pattern. And up here on the tips of your spork, you want to make 3 half double crochets. I'm sorry, this stitch is going to be half double crochets all the way around, not single crochets, if I said that. You're just going to go all the way around, and then every time you get into like corners here, where you're changing directions, you always want to put 2 stitches there. Okay, do it all the way down, and I will show you how to sew that on afterward. Alright, once you get the size of your panel that you need for your Forky, you want to pin it on, and I'm going to do probably another row or 2 on this panel, but I want to leave enough over here off to the side so that in white letters I can put FORKY, his name. Just want to show you how that's going to pan out. Okay guys, this is my Afghan, what it looks like now with my Forky pattern sewn on. And you see I have room over here to the left so I can write, so I can put the letters Forky. And this measures 3 feet and 9 inches. And this is what it looks like with my letters. As you can see, I have wads of yarn for tails that I had to use for sewing on. I just got them on there like randomly. I'm going to fix them a little bit. No, the letters are not perfect. They're a little rustic, but I think that that's cute. You can make your letters any way you want. I will have in the information box how I made mine. And basically they were how we did our foundation row, with a series of chains, and then we single crocheted in the back bump back to our first chain, and then I did 3 rows of half double crochet for each letter. Alright, and this is what the finished product looks like. I have my letters all sewn in. I did do a round of half double crochet around all my letters. You can either do single crochet or half double crochet. It's up to you. But I'm very pleased with it. Very, very pleased. So let's move on to project 2. Moving on to Forky project number 2. This is going to be your buddy, Forky Buddy, your stuffed Forky Buddy. Alright, for Forky Buddy, you are going to have to rewind the video and make a second panel of just the body. Okay? And then what we're going to do is just go ahead and sew these together. You can either sew them together or you can do a single crochet with your crochet hook, excuse me, or a half double crochet. It's up to you. But you want to use the same color. Like right here is going to be white or blanco. Right here is going to be red or rojo, and we're just going to go all the way around the edge. And when you get around here, I would stop here. Like if you start here on this finger, go all the way around all 3 fingers, stop, and then stuff. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. Go ahead and do that. And you will need some polyfill for this. This is just Crafter's Choice from Joann's Fabric. I'm not sure how much you'll need, but this is a 20-ounce package. Alright, for project 2, I'm almost done stuffing him. I'm going to do my hands last. And I'm not sure if I want to put something in there like pipe cleaners to see if to make them so they're movable. Not sure yet. But I just want to mention he's measuring 4 feet. Okay, now this is just this, if you don't want your Forky to bend or fold down or bend down or whatever, you might want to stick something sturdy. Like, I don't know, maybe some rulers, back scratcher. I just put the ruler there. That's a 3-foot ruler. This Forky measures 4 foot, so he's really like lifelike size. And we're just, my grandson is just going to use this for his bed, just to put on his bed. So I don't know what you're going to be using your Forky, your life-size Forky for. Clearly we're compensating for how small he is in the picture, Toy Story 4, into making him more lifelike. And here is our finished life-size stuffed Forky Buddy. So these are my 2 projects. I hope you enjoy them. I want to thank everyone for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, comment, share. Thumbs up wouldn't hurt. And my disclosure statement for the video: I am not a professional videographer. I do not have a professional camera. I record from my tablet. I welcome constructive comments, as I am a whip in videology, I'm sorry. Cruel and vicious comments will just not be tolerated. My apologies if I was confusing. Please check the info box for further clarification. I appreciate everyone's patience, and together let's continue to crochet it forward. Bye now.